This isn't science fiction. It's a real-life preview. An unprecedented...
Would you survive World War III? But first, the military is actively getting...
What is this right here, bro? Remember?
Just got the first images of not Prince Andrew after he was released from police custody, being questioned for about 12 hours.
Welcome back to Chill Spot. If you thought you'd seen every scary video out there, think again. We've uncovered forgotten footage, eerie encounters, and spine-tingling clips that defy explanation. Friends, your bravery is about to be tested from shadowy streets to haunted hallways. Which one would you dare to visit? Be sure to join the conversation in the comments and subscribe so you never miss another mystery.
Why is there so much craziness going on? They want you to spiral into stress, drama, emotional chaos. And this is why the attacks happen all the time. They understand emotional chaos will disconnect you from the frequency that will allow you to rise up and become the most powerful version of yourself and tap into the abundance, which is your actual birthright. They want you to disconnect from the frequency that wealth and abundance respond to.
I've said it for years and I'll say it again. The government is planning a fake alien invasion to establish the New World Order and also usher in a one world religion. Now, the real UFOs have been trying to help humanity for a long time. If you look into crop circles, you'll realize that very quickly. They're trying to leave us blueprints for free energy, but these military operations like Area 51 and some other secret military operations, this is exactly what they're doing, guys. They know this technology and they're going to use it against us. They will also use Project Bluebeam. This is all a part of the plan. You guys need to look into this. This has been a part of their agenda for a very long time. This has been prophesized by the elites through predictive programming and all that stuff. So this is what's going on. Do not be surprised when it happens, and don't buy in to the mainstream story, the mainstream narrative. Whatever they're trying to sell you is a lie, as it always is. Gotta look within for the real answers and know that we are protected by divine forces, not these people. Peace and love.
And say that there are structured craft of unknown origin, unequivocally, whizzing around with impunity. It's a global phenomenon. They're nuts and bolts. They exhibit a technology that is light years advanced from anything that we have. I'll give you an example. They don't have any wings. They don't have any tail. They can hover. They don't make any noise. They don't have any exhaust vents. They don't do very little air disturbance. Sometimes witnesses report a slight humming, and then they can accelerate from a standstill, from a hovering position to out of sight in a blink of an eye. They do right angle turns at high speeds, and that's irrefutable around the globe that we could prove that's happening. The question is, who is it? What do they want? Where do they come from? Is it some super secret government, hidden developed craft? I highly doubt it, because it's been going on for so long, and it would have to keep a secret for 80 years or more. So that's the big question.
What's good, channel members? Welcome back to today's video. I really appreciate all your support. It means everything.
Yo, what is that? What's that? Huh? What is this right here, bro? Remember? They were right. We are really in the Matrix, guys, because people are saying that these are Sentinels in the sky now. This is not the first time I've seen a video of something like that in the sky, guys. Now, I don't know if you got future plans or not, but something is going on out there that I know nothing about. That's why I'm asking you guys. You thought it was just a movie. Shut up! Just picture paying your bills and you go outside and you see this thing outside. How do you feel now? Because if Sentinels are in the sky, they're in the sky for free. And the helicopter just passed right by it. The helicopter didn't want nothing to do whatever that was in the sky. I mean, if this starts to be in the sky more often, I'ma just stay home. The people that are awake know that we're living in the Matrix. They know. Want to know something else? This video is for entertainment purposes only, and I think that video is AI, bro. Because I hope that there's not Sentinels flying around in the sky. Yo, I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
This is it for us. A scientist claims he has spotted an angry biblical creature, larger than a planet, moving toward Earth from deep space, and what he saw terrified everyone who heard about it. It began when a man looked through his telescope and noticed an insanely bright light in the sky, almost the size of the moon. It was radiating multiple colors at the same time, constantly shifting and pulsing, at moments even forming the shape of a cross, or a glowing being descending from above. He said the colors were changing so intensely that they were visible even without a camera. What makes this even more disturbing is the connection people are now making to the Bible. In Luke 21 verse 25, there is a description of strange signs in the heavens, stars appearing after wars and disasters, before the end of life as we know it. Many believe this light matches what is referred to as the Star of Jacob, appearing in the night sky for weeks as a final warning. Scientists added another layer of fear when, around the same time this object was observed, strange recordings emerged, sounds coming from the sky, screaming, singing, frequencies with no identifiable source. No aircraft. No atmospheric explanation. Nothing that should be making noise at all. Some experts try to calm the panic, saying the Star of Jacob was never meant to be taken literally. Others disagree, arguing that ancient descriptions were symbolic attempts to explain something humanity didn't yet understand. So the question is unavoidable now. Is this just another misunderstood cosmic phenomenon, or are we witnessing a sign written about thousands of years ago? Follow and subscribe for more unsettling stories where science, prophecy, and fear collide.
Since everybody's so excited that Trump's going to get us disclosure, finally, it's happening. After all these decades, we're finally going to get the right kind of disclosure. Here's what I want to know. Here's the kind of shit I want to know. First and foremost, the first thing I want to know is about the Greada Treaty. How did all this happen? Because supposedly they had two options. They had one option from the Greys and the other one was from the Pleiadians. It's 1954. Dwight Eisenhower's president and he goes missing. Okay. Supposedly he was getting a tooth fixed, but that was the cover story. That was the overlay for the underlay. What really happened is he was meeting with a group of aliens called the Pleiadians. They show up, they're in a ship, they're in silver jumpsuits, and you know, the Pleiadians, the Nordics, tall, 10 to 15 feet tall, pure white skin, long blonde hair, crystal blue eyes, and they speak to the president and his, I think it was 2 Secret Service members telepathically. Now I wrote this down. Here's what the Pleiadians offer our government. Unlimited clean energy, just straight off the bat. They would also provide technology beyond human belief, the end of disease, no more sickness, no more disease, nada, cancer. What cancer? To exceed our lifespan to 300 years plus, and to enter us into the golden age of no poverty and no suffering. These things that they were going to give us on our planet, and all they wanted was one thing. They wanted our government to neutralize our nuclear warheads, our nuclear weapons, get rid of them. Be done with them. So before the Pleiadians leave Dwight Eisenhower to make this decision, they tell him, listen, I need you to make your decision because there's another group of aliens coming here to talk to you. They're not as nice as us. Don't trust them. And in come the Greys. Who else did you think they were talking about? The Greys. So in come the Greys and they say, hey, listen, you can keep your nuclear weapons. We don't care about those nuclear weapons, but we want your humans. What do you mean, what do we want to do with your humans? We want to do experiments on them. We want to see how they're evolving. We want to probe and traumatize them and also impregnate them in some instances. And in other instances, re-abduct them over and over and over again. And then make them forget that it happened. We'll give you some technology and we'll give you our bodies too. Do whatever you want with them, but you'll have the best technology ever and you get to keep your little boom, boom, pow, pows. Which decision do you think they made? Are we cancer free? Are we living to 300-400 years old? Absolutely not. My kind of disclosure, why did you make that decision? I want to know answers like that. It's always been about money. Always. But yeah, that's what I want to know. How about you?
There was a lot of alien vibes going around the internet, and some are saying the government is blinding us with these alien disclosure stuff for some sort of agenda. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below.
Stop! Those candidates are phonies! You heard me. They're alien replicants from beyond the moon.
Yeah, right, pal. Don't forget your stinking flag.
Why won't anyone believe my crazy story? Oh, God! Oh no. What have I done? What am I doing? What will I do?
The politics of failure have failed. We need to make them work again. Tomorrow, when you are sealed in the voting cubicle, vote for me, Senator Bob Dole.
I am looking forward to an orderly election tomorrow, which will eliminate the need for a violent bloodbath. America, take a good look at your beloved candidates. They're nothing but hideous space reptiles.
Comment book if you would like to find out this confidential information.
They would progressively infiltrate all of the races. They would get the coding from the angelic human 12 tribes by raiding the 12 tribes, sexually interbreeding with them to get a genetic line to create a super race that would carry the codes, the Stargate codes that corresponded to Earth's grids. So they had, not only were they fighting for the Templar now they were targeting the angelic human race because it had the codes, and if they could interbreed, because now they were capable of creating live offspring, if they could create a race that would hold all of the Stargate codes, and they'd have to do it one group at a time. They'd have to infiltrate Tribe 1 and Tribe 2 and Tribe 3 and very carefully interweave what tribes they raided to create a race of children, a race of human mutants that would look like the rest of us, that would have the keys to the Templar running in reverse. This is what they tried to do, and it was an official agreement that was made. What we're living right now is the end of that agreement. There's some interesting things done in order to fulfill that agreement. Interesting and horrific. The most important one that I'll add to this, because there's a whole list of them that I could go through, and I'll just go through the list real quick without having time to elaborate.
Why is it that when people make claims that The Simpsons allegedly predict future events, 9 out of 10 times they come true? And why do I say that? Because there are alleged rumors that are floating all over social media regarding NASA and this thing called Project Anchor. And this Project Anchor allegedly was brought to life in the year 2014. And the reason for the creation of this Project Anchor was all due to a date in the future that they were very, very concerned about. And that date is August 12th, 2026. And what is allegedly to occur on August 12th, 2026? Earth is to lose gravity for 7 seconds. I'll repeat, 7 seconds where gravity just comes to a stop. And according to some alleged videos and articles that have been posted all over social media, it is not an explosion, it is not permanent, and it is also not the end of the world. But 7 seconds is long enough to cause a ton of chaos. So basically the claims are it'll be a temporary gravity collapse that will last long enough to cause chaos, but short enough for Earth to survive. And some of the videos go on to claim, because it's so short, that's the reason why there hasn't been any public warnings issued. And others are warning that our government has been warned, allegedly, that even a few seconds of gravity loss could be severely catastrophic. And also to note, allegedly, this is where Project Anchor would come in, where it would help to stabilize any of the chaos that is going on during that 7 seconds. And I am in no way saying that this is a guarantee to happen. But I guess my question to you is, if it does happen, what do you think could go wrong on Earth with us having a 7-second gravity stop? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
This isn't science fiction. It's a real-life preview. An unprecedented human-machine collaborative tactical exercise in China has been publicly revealed for the first time. Robot soldiers are conducting live-fire training. The video shows these robotic soldiers moving with precision, quickly locking onto targets, muzzle flashes, spent cartridges flying, seamless collaboration, every shot fired with pinpoint accuracy. Even more unsettling is this. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a game. This is real training in progress. Viewers can almost feel it on the future battlefield. Humans will no longer be the sole protagonists. Social media exploded. Some were shocked, calling it a harbinger of the coming of robot warfare. Others questioned whether this was merely a demonstration, suggesting that actual combat capabilities remained limited. This is not just a training exercise. It's more like a signal the rules of war are being rewritten.
The world be getting crazy by the day, as I always say. You've seen how China is advancing greatly in technology, and it's not going to be long that we will be seeing these robots taking over everything. Tell us what you think down in the comments.
Would you survive World War III? But first, the military is actively getting surf and turf, lobster and steak, and Twitter is going crazy speculating it's about to happen. We also have tons of countries telling their citizens to leave Iran, shut up as fast as possible. Not to mention China and Russia with Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. But would you survive though? This war is going to be a lot different.
Y'all, the next war of our lifetime is going to be ridiculously scary. Let me walk you through some realistic scenarios. And believe it or not, everything I'm showing you is 100% real. Alright, so first picture this. Y'all are able to wipe out the enemy team. You're right in front of a pond, and all of a sudden, thousands of drones come up out the water. Yes, attack drones can now sit at the bottom of lakes and other bodies of water with weaponry and come out whenever they want to. And when you least expect it, bam, they are everywhere. Y'all thought you had it down, but that's only 1/10. Let's keep moving on. Now, if you happen to be blessed enough to survive the drone avalanche and also the nuke avalanche, too bad they know where every single one of y'all are hiding because they put thousands of satelloons right above our head. But even more dangerous than this is the all-seeing tech soldiers. But not so quick, my friend, because you still gotta deal with the holograms. Enemy countries will be actively throwing holograms in the sky to make people think their gods are coming. And in conjunction with the satelloons, they'll make you be able to hear it too. And many people at this moment will let their guard down and boom. Alright, so somehow you made it through all that stuff. Now the iron mixed with clay can start looking for you. And these AI techno soldiers can see your heat signatures. They can basically read your thoughts. You think it's far-fetched? Your phone camera does that. Somehow you win, you defeat them, you call your dog to go home, but boom, it's not your dog. It's a robo-dog, hit a flamethrower, and you're done.
Holy hell, guys, we have just got the first images of not Prince Andrew after he was released from police custody, being questioned for about 12 hours straight. And what the hell did they tell him in there? Because brother looks shook to his core. I genuinely thought that this was AI when I first saw this image, but no, it is completely real. And to make matters even crazier, they arrested him on his 66th birthday, and he has now become the first British royal to be arrested by police in nearly 400 years. We are living through history every day this year. Now, he remains under investigation for his ties with Jeffrey Epstein, so when we have an update on what happens to him next, I'll let you guys know.
We've all heard of what a Waymo self-driving car is. If you haven't, take a look at this. This is what they look like right here, and you can order them. They are driverless cars. You may end up ordering one at some point, but the question is, are they safe? Why do I bring that up? Because a lady ordered one for her daughter to take her to her destination. And when the vehicle pulled up, she found a man locked in the trunk. You heard what I said, a man locked in the trunk. If you haven't seen the video, take a look at this.
Why the fuck are you in the trunk?
Look at this, right there.
Oh, yeah, they should want to let me out. Why are you in it? Huh? They just put me in it. Who put you in? The what? The people. That's not
No, dude. No way. No way. So his claim was that someone put him inside of that trunk. Are you buying that? I'm not. Now, to me, that's scary as hell. Can you just imagine if she would have got in that car without looking first and seeing him in that trunk? Something seriously dangerous could have happened to her. Luckily for her, she didn't get in the back of that Waymo. She called 911. The police arrived. They opened up the trunk, took him out, and arrested him. And when they asked him the story about why he was in the trunk, he wasn't about giving up any information. So keep this in the back of your mind. The only way to get one of these to show up at your door is to order it yourself. So what did this guy do? Did he order it and go hide in the trunk and wait for a female to order it? So I guess it's not looking too good for Waymo, the self-driving cars. And if you go back and take a look recently, the events that they've been happening, from malfunctioning to running red lights, not stopping for school buses, and even driving into head-on traffic. So keep this in the back of your mind. They are supposed to be smart cars, right? Self-driving smart cars. They don't seem too smart right now. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Looking at how things are going, there is definitely something that's going to happen with all these emerging technology and robots, but I do not think it's going to be a war. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below.
They lied to us. Humans didn't invent flight in 1903. We just rediscovered it. Ancient Indian texts describe flying machines that existed over 6,000 years ago. They were called Vimanas. These weren't myths or symbols. The Vedas and the Mahabharata describe them in detail, machines that could travel across the sky and between worlds. One verse even says, an apparatus that moves by its own power from globe to globe. And wait, it gets crazier. The texts list how they were built. Vimanas had 31 parts, including a photographic mirror beneath, and were made of 16 rare metals. But today, scientists can only identify 3. In Tibet, ancient Sanskrit scrolls were found describing their anti-gravity propulsion, a force called lagama, the same power said to let humans levitate. So ask yourself, how could a 6,000-year-old civilization describe anti-gravity and interplanetary flight unless they'd seen it? Maybe the first pilots weren't human.
The short reptile was talking to me telepathically. It was telepathic. His exact words were, we need to borrow your consciousness. You're going to help us. And you're going to be gone for 20 years. And I said, no, I can't do that. I have my mom and dad and my family. I have a family. I can't be gone. And he explained, he said, no, you're going to go right back the next day. It'll be like you never left, but you get to live this extra time. It's going to be a huge blessing to you. The gray that was in the room was a longer necked gray, and he said you have to get his permission at some point. And they put a latex or a thin rubber sheet over me, and the table sucked it tight. And then I couldn't breathe, and I opened my mouth and went, and it was in my, the vacuum had been, I was breathing in, and they took a scalpel and cut it so I could breathe. And then they cut out around my eye, which they had to do a test and see what was my dominant eye. And then it was a gold needle that went in right by the tear duct and went bam. The next thing I knew, I woke up and I had no memory of mom or dad or anywhere. I had complete amnesia, and I was in the desert. I pinned it down to Inyokern Air Base into a port. They were like portables in Southern California next to China Lake. And I woke up and there was a man. He had a tall guy with Coke bottle glasses, curly hair, and he said, "Do you remember your mom or dad?" I said, "No." He said, "Do you remember your brothers? Do you have any brothers or sisters?" I said, "No." The next morning it began your standard, which I've researched since then, but it was your standard MK Ultra trauma-based mind control program.
It's crazy that there are people that have actually made contact with these aliens. Maybe they are real and have been living amongst us for all these years, watching our every move.
Once you start understanding quantum physics, you realize that everything is energy and nothing is separate. And then when you realize that they can measure your brainwaves with a magnet that doesn't touch your head, you realize that your thoughts are not in your head. And they're part of this greater field that we are all connected by. And they're now trying to understand how we actually store memories, which is a developing process. Some of it is protein-based, and some of it is this theory that we basically store our thoughts in the cloud. So basically you're accessing your own Wi-Fi field. And this is why there is a difference of like meeting somebody in person versus doing something over Zoom. Our biofields are interacting right now. There are low level frequencies that our brains interact on. So having that biofield, you realize that like you have your own biofield, you are your own Wi-Fi, you emit your own Wi-Fi. And so then thoughts can be the process of some of that Wi-Fi coming in, mostly directed as life force and energy, which is why like how you practice your energy and how you maintain your energy can really direct how your thoughts come out in your reality.
Did you hear the CIA released the cheat codes to our simulation, or as you would call it, reality, including one that can cure any headache instantly? And of course, they hid it all in this 21-page document declassified in 2003, written in the most boring, mundane language that no sane person would ever read. So let me show you how I turn this document into an easy-to-read social media-style feed that'll give you all the juiciest details. I head over to this site right here, Emergent SH, and just tell it exactly what I want to make. Something like build me an app that takes any declassified government file, finds the most interesting, mind-blowing points in the document, and puts them in a Twitter-style feed. Give it a minute or two, it might ask you a few questions, let it do its thing, and just like that, we have a fully functioning web app that does exactly that. Now we download this CIA Gateway Intermediate Workbook document, pop it in, and let it analyze. And just like that, no more boring government document, we've got a feed to scroll through. It put all the juiciest points of the doc and put them in a Twitter-style feed, and it seems like it even added an interest rank to each, as well as a way to verify the source from the exact page in the original document. That's pretty cool. Let's scroll and see what we can find. Okay, how to sleep instantly. Can't fall asleep? Lie down comfortably, take 5 deep breaths, and count slowly from 1 to 20. You will be asleep before you even hit 20. Interesting. Click verify and yup, there it is right there. Sleep hacks from the CIA. Next we got the memory button. Forgot something? Close your eyes and gently touch the center of your forehead with the fingers of your right hand. You will instantly remember what you were looking for. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Oh, here's the one everyone's been talking about. The pain code. Got an ouchie? Close your eyes and look at the part of your body that hurts. I guess like visualize it with your mind. Repeat the number 55515 in your mind. The pain will slowly fade away. 55515. Apparently, this one can cure headaches. Hey, don't look at me, this is the CIA talking. You can also calm your anxiety by closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, and thinking of the color green. Hey, I guess that's why I'm so calm all the time. And unlock super strength mode by doing the same thing, but imagining red. Thinking of white will recharge you if you're tired, and purple seems like it will fix a part of your body that needs help. Yeah, I mean, don't knock it till you try it, I guess. We're just reading declassified intelligence documents here. And if you want to do the same without having to scroll through hundreds of pages of mind-numbing paragraphs, you can build your own app like this or pretty much anything you can think of in just a few minutes with Emergent. Who knows, maybe you could even uncover something new in some certain recent files that have dropped with this too, so give it a shot and let me know.
AI is getting better. I mean, that AI just coded a whole working website for him in just a second. That shows us how AI can help us achieve great things when used the right way. Shout out to him.
Starlink satellites are literally falling back to Earth non-stop right now, and scientists are now warning that the debris is already damaging our ozone layer. Dude, this is obviously insane. Right now, there are over 9,000 different Starlink satellites in orbit, and SpaceX has plans for over 70,000 more. Whenever these satellites end, by the way, they're supposed to fall back to Earth and burn up in the atmosphere, and SpaceX says that they specifically designed them to completely disintegrate. But that's not what's happening. There was a 5-pound chunk of a Starlink satellite that crashed into a farm in Canada. Debris also randomly turned up in Poland, Kenya, North Carolina, and Algeria. So obviously they're not burning up like they're supposed to. The brand new generation satellites that are coming out right now weigh 2 metric tons each, which is now 8 times heavier than the original ones. They're saying that whenever these satellites burn up, they actually release a thing that's called aluminum oxide, and scientists are saying that a single particle of that can destroy thousands of ozone molecules. They also just found that the atmospheric aluminum oxide has already increased by 800% since 2016. And because it takes those particles 20 to 30 years to fully drift down, we won't see the full damage until the 2040s. So what are we doing?
Okay, this video was just released from, I assume, the ISS of Earth from space, clearly extremely curved, and there's a couple things that don't quite add up when you actually analyze this. Before we can do that, though, in its entirety, you have to hear the audio from this clip, and that's where things get a little bit weird. And by the way, I'm sure they're not using a fisheye lens. So listen carefully. Do you hear that? This is the official video they released. What's that noise, you might be wondering? Wait a minute. Is there sound in space? So I decided it'd be fun to ask ChatGPT about this, and it gave me a pretty interesting answer. So no, there's no sound in space, unless you're in like a nebula or something, which I'm sure is real, right? Then I say, then why is there sound on a NASA video looking at the Earth from the ISS? And it says, oh, that's a classic confusion. The sound you hear from NASA videos from the International Space Station is not coming from space itself, it's coming from inside the ISS. And I say, no, the video is filmed outside of the ISS. And then it says, oh, that detail changes things a bit and explains why it seems confusing. If the camera is outside the ISS, any sound you hear cannot be coming through the vacuum of space. It's physically impossible. Sound needs a medium. So he says, here's what's actually happening. Audio is added in post-production. For public-facing videos, NASA often overlays sound, like crew voices, machinery hums, and ambient effects, so the video is more engaging. And then get this, does NASA use CGI? Yes, but not in the way conspiracy theories suggest. It's for scientific visualization, simulating black holes, galaxies, planetary atmospheres, and spacecraft trajectories. Okay, but they do use CGI. That's all I got. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more. Now, if you made it this far, I should say that there's a whole lot more I'm going to be posting, but I do want to mention that right now Chalk is giving away free bags of the organic heirloom cacao from Bolivia. This is the Chalk Lit Powder. Super detoxing, freaking delicious. And if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit or the ashwagandha, you're getting some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world. I'm talking fertility, brain function, hormones, energy levels, cognition, and your pineal gland. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
What do you think is causing the Starlink satellites to fall from the sky like that? I think it's the aliens trashing them from space because they do not want to be seen. Comment below and also tell us if there is sound in space. Let's continue.
This man filmed a face in the moon and caught everything on camera. At first, it sounds ridiculous, but the footage says otherwise.
It is February 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is.
After the clip spread online, people started digging into the details. The man claims this was filmed in the United States earlier this year using a higher quality camera because he had been seeing this shape multiple times before. According to him, this wasn't a one-time illusion. He says the face appeared on several different nights. Always watching. Always looking down. Some people say it's just light and shadows. Others say pareidolia. But here's where it gets disturbing. Ancient prophecies describe signs in the heavens appearing before the end times. Strange faces. Eyes in the sky. A presence watching humanity. In the book of Joel, it said the moon will change before the final days. Other texts mention celestial beings observing the world before judgment. And modern conspiracy theories connect this exact imagery to the idea that we are being watched as something approaches. So the question is simple. What did this man really capture? A trick of light or a warning? Subscribe for daily horror stories, disturbing footage, and things the internet doesn't want you to see. What do you think this is?
This might be one of the creepiest glitch in the Matrix videos ever caught on camera. You're seriously not ready for what this girl filmed. She was alone in her room, just casually doing yoga, nothing weird going on. Then out of nowhere, her exact double walks right past her. Same height, same face, same hair, even wearing the exact same clothes. It wasn't just someone who looked like her, it was literally her copy. The doppelganger slowly waved at her like it was totally normal, and then kept walking. At first, the girl just stood there, confused, probably thinking she was losing it. But within seconds, she grabbed her phone and ran after the figure. When she rushed into the hallway, she saw her double turn into the next room. You can see the fear on her face. That kind of shock is hard to fake. She counts to 3, walks into the room, and completely freezes. Inside, she sees herself again. But this time, it's like she's looking at a version of herself from a few seconds earlier, repeating the same movement. To this day, nobody has been able to fully prove whether it's clever editing or something we just can't explain. So what do you think? Time loop, parallel reality, or are we actually living in a simulation? Let me know in the comments.
She was just recording her daughter when she makes a haunting discovery.
A woman named Isabel Lugo uploaded a disturbing footage where she's playing around, recording her daughter in her house, when suddenly she noticed this strange man. She has no idea who he is, just sitting casually in her kitchen table. Now, the video went viral and many asked to know more about the whole situation, where Isabel explains on a later video that strange things would always happen. Doors open on their own and sounds of something dragging was heard around the kitchen area. After talking to the neighbors one day, she discovered that the man who was there before her was unalived in the kitchen, where his body was disposed of by dismemberment. Disturbed, Isabel quickly moved out of there.
Those clips really gave me the creeps. Did you just see how that girl's other self just appeared on the other side of the glass? That's just crazy. I think that was a glitch in the Matrix, and that girl just caught it live on camera.
This girl had no idea she was about to make the biggest mistake of her life, all because she decided to try filming a viral TikTok trend. The whole trend was basically this. You smear your hair with sticky slime, leave it like that for a while, and then wash it out. She thought the video would get millions of views, but it turned out way worse than she ever expected. When she finally tried to rinse the slime out of her hair, she could not. She soaked it with hot water, tried different shampoos, even used scrubbers, but the sticky stuff had latched onto her hair so tightly that nothing worked. And that was the moment she realized this experiment was not going the way it was supposed to, and panic started creeping in. She pulled herself together and rushed to the hospital, hoping the doctors could use something, anything, to get the slime out of her hair. But it was even worse than that. When the doctors examined her head, they told her it was a really stupid idea, and unfortunately, there was nothing they could do to help. They did not have any magic solution that could wash the slime out of her hair, and the only thing she had left to do was shave her head completely bald.
Well, who is going to explain this to me? What's this?
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list?
And that's the same person in 2025. And listen carefully.
I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself.
Oh, he killed himself. And look at his body language. Something in the end right here. Look. It's not obvious. And listen what he said here about releasing the files.
Release all the information about that? Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Yeah, that's the best one. And tell me how this guy went from this. This is him in 2024. And this is him now. Let me put both of these pictures side by side. Look at here. How this guy went from this to this. Look at his eyes. Here his eyes all good, and here without soul. Why is that? Maybe I'm tripping.
Warning, these Mandela effects might just freak you out. Are you familiar with this drawing called the Vitruvian Man? If so, how many arms do you recall him having? If you said 2, you're correct. But then why do so many people swear that there were always 3? And how many hours did you spend playing Wii Sports? If you recall, when you won, you would see the text, "You win," pop up over the screen. But do you remember the game actually saying, "You win"? Apparently many people remember the game doing this, but in this reality, it never did. And how about The Grinch? What do you remember being the actual title of this story? Is it The Grinch Who Stole Christmas? Or How the Grinch Stole Christmas? It's always been How the Grinch Stole Christmas, although many remember it being the other. Which of these two logos is the official one for Starbucks? Is it the one with the plain crown, or the one with the star on the crown? We've all seen it 1,000 times, but how much do you pay attention to it? The answer is, it's always been the one with the star. And throughout the company's history, it has never been removed or altered. If you're like me, you've played a lot of Mario Kart. And if you're also like me, you might have broke a controller or two doing so, specifically the Nintendo 64 version. Now, we all had nightmares about Rainbow Road, but do you remember if the Mario Kart 64 version of Rainbow Road had borders on the edges, or did not? Many are probably getting it confused with the Super Nintendo version of Mario Kart, which in that game, the Rainbow Road track did not have rails. But in the 64 version, apparently it always did.
What do you think of those Mandela effects? I mean, some of them were definitely right, but tell us down in the comments what you think, and leave us a like if you are enjoying the video so far.
Dogs sense evil spirits. This dog was following this man when something creepy happens. The man disappeared in the alley. Could this be something evil?
Have you noticed how weirdly cats react to Egyptian music? On TikTok, this has already become a real trend. Owners play ancient melodies for their pets, and the reaction changes almost instantly. Cats freeze, start listening closely, slowly walk toward the sound, and some even lie down next to it and stay completely still until the music ends. Others quietly meow, like they're having some kind of strange dialogue with the melody. In the comments, many people say it feels like these sounds are strangely familiar to cats, as if they've heard them before a very long time ago. This instantly brings up an interesting historical fact. In ancient Egypt, cats were considered sacred animals connected to the gods and the afterlife. What's especially interesting is that owners claim no other music causes the same reaction. Not classical music, not modern hits, not even nature sounds. That's why more and more people are starting to wonder what's really going on. Are these just certain frequencies that cats hear differently? Or is some ancient memory actually waking up in them? Let me know in the comments what you think.
A woman named Amelia noticed that some of the floorboards in her house weren't properly fixed. Out of curiosity, she lifted one of them and looked underneath. Using the flashlight on her phone, she saw something unexpected down there. At first, she thought it was nothing important. She planned to just put the board back and forget about it. But when she tried to clean the space, she realized something was stuck beneath the floorboards. As she looked closer, she discovered what appeared to be a book. Right next to it, she also found a very old coin buried under the floor. That's when she started digging more seriously, trying to figure out why a book would be hidden there. In the video, she explains that she had to cut the recording. The book was large, heavy, and completely wedged in place. She needed both hands to pull it out. She mentioned something else that felt wrong. The pages didn't look normal. They seemed thick, almost like solid sheets. And the edges looked like they were made of gold, or at least coated in it. After a lot of effort, she finally managed to pull the book free. And that's when the real question started. Why would a book like this be hidden under the floor of her house? Who put it there? And what was it meant to hide or protect? She says she's going to clean the book and show what's inside next. So keep your eyes open. You don't want to miss what this thing actually is. What do you think she found? Follow so you don't lose the channel, if you're not afraid to get scared at night.
Quite some interesting clips right there. It's fascinating how the cats react to the Egyptian melodies. Some say cats be intelligent, and that video just proved that. Why don't you all go try it out with your cat and tell us what happens?
Before I even get into all these different fucking pictures of Black Jesus that was in Russia, are there black people in Russia right now? How many? And you better not say 6 or 7. That's my thing. Why do white people always got black people shit, bro? And then they gonna say, all right, fine. Y'all want to see the real pictures of Jesus? Here. This man was not only black, but he was black as fuck. This man was that looked like 2:35 a.m. I'll leave it to y'all. That nigga there like this. Just did like this and said, hey, everybody chill. So not cool, bro. No fucking way. Russia had all these pictures. They recorded a clip of this nigga saying, all right, let's see what Jesus looked like. Oh, fuck no. Fuck that. Hey, delete that. Delete all that shit. They don't need to see all this. They already got too much going on. That better not have been Jesus. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Jesus better not have been darker than me, bro. Y'all sat up here and said he olive color. Olives are only green and black as fuck. So did y'all mean olive oil? I only seen olives be green and black. Y'all got some other colors out there. Y'all got some tan beige olives out there I don't know about. Okay, my bad. He ain't even tan beige. You got gotta understand, these pictures was drawn thousands of years ago. When they decided to color him, they said, I ain't got no like real dark soil. I gotta mix that shit because that nigga black as fuck. Y'all seen when he came through here? He was so black. I already knew Jesus was black, but I didn't know he was that goddamn black. That goddamn black, that looked like that black ass nigga on Dragon Ball Z. Not only was Jesus black, Jesus looked like he was probably on Shadows. My nigga Jesus look like he know how to rap, run fast, dunk. Matter of fact, they told me who y'all tried to say Jesus was. And he was some gay little sissy little punk from Europe. Fuck that nigga. Jesus, I knew he was a nigga, bro. I knew he was a nigga, bro. And you just felt like a nigga. And this right here is what you want me to think Jesus looked like. If Jesus looked like that and said he was the son of God, I would have probably took him out too. I ain't gonna count. If a nigga like that said, yes, I am the son of the creator, I would have said, well, why the fuck you recessive?
The people of this planet, the Islamic world, the Muslims do not realize that Allah is connected to the planet Saturn. This is why Mecca has a black square. Mecca is called the Kaaba. And this is why today we have streets in England called Kaaba stone streets. Little black squares, the Kaaba. Or you graduate from university with the black square, the Kaaba. The idea of Islam is worshiping the God Allah. All one has to do is go to a dictionary and look up Allah, and it will tell you that Allah is the same as the Jewish God in the Old Testament, Yahweh. Yahweh is the Hebrew God of the Old Testament, and Allah is the Islamic God. It's the same God. It's just one language is Hebrew and one is Arabic.
One would get the impression somebody's playing a big joke on the planet.
Without a doubt.
So if the source of all these religions is the same, why are we fighting each other?
Because we're ignorant. We're not very well informed, and consequently people who are far more clever and highly paid and have no morals or scruples at all know how to manipulate and exploit us, so we fight ourselves.
Well, if people are ignorant, that's pretty easy to do.
It's pretty easy to do. And the idea is keep everybody busy, mad at each other, and now they won't look at you, what you're doing.
If you're seeking the real truth, if you want to understand what you are and where we are, check the link in the profile bio.
It's crazy how religion has been twisted over and over till you can't know what is right anymore. All I can say is to take what you have to from those clips and leave the rest to entertainment and for educational purposes. Let's continue.
Jesus did not come to save you. He came to save his people, and his people are not Africans.
First thing I did, I closed the church. Second thing, I renounced Christianity. So I refuse to be identified anymore as a Christian. So the first and the most important reason why I closed the church and renounced Christianity is that my assignment from God, my life's purpose, the reason why I was born is to build the house of God. I submit to you and I stand to be corrected. The house of God is not a church. It's not. These people that ought to be, that were in captivity and whose captivity will end after 400 years is Africans. The first thing I learned was that God's vision was to Africanize the world. That's God's vision. Not to Christianize you, not to modernize you, not to Europeanize you, not to Americanize you. God's vision is to Africanize the world. It is stupidity to preach born-againism to an African. You can't tell an African to be born again. There are two groups of people on the earth according to scripture. So Jesus of Nazareth did not die for any African. He was not needed. He was not required. Jesus is not Lord. Jesus did not come to save you. He came to save his people, and his people are not Africans. In the beginning, the gods created the heavens and the earth. So who are the gods that created the heavens and the earth? Now, if you think that is contradictory, don't worry, just go down to verse 26. And God said, let us. Who is us? Adoption is not for everybody. Those who were born of the will of the flesh and blood, and not of the will of Elohim, and not of the will of spirit or the will of God, are those that require adoption. And it is to them we preach born again, not to Africans. The Garden of Eden and all of the Bible stories you have read are all about Africa. In fact, you understand that the Bible is actually African history.
This fact gonna blow your mind. Did you know that
Black Americans are the Indians they said they killed off. And Malcolm X tried to tell y'all in this video right here.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines.
Aborigines are called natives. They're always dark-skinned people. This is a statue of Pocahontas' father. As you can see, he's depicted as dark-skinned. So Disney, why you lying? You never find a white aborigine. How the hell he become a chief of a tribe? Somebody lying. One of the reasons Malcolm was assassinated is he was waking up to our true identity and was about to sue the United States government for violating our human rights in accordance with international law. Because you being indigenous means they owe you more than just cash reparations. They owe you your land back.
That episode was something special, wasn't it? Each clip left us with more questions than answers, and that's what makes it so thrilling. Thank you for watching and being part of this experience. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We've got more mind-bending mysteries coming your way. Until next time, stay curious.